Thanks, but no thanks, says Ewan Rion, who played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones. The show might have gave him a lot of success, but according to him, it also gave him the worst day of his career. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. And Ewan Rion, who played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones, has come out recently during an interview with Metro UK and says there's one particular scene in Game of Thrones that is hard for him to watch, and he claims it is responsible for the worst day of his career. And he's talking about a rape scene with Sansa Stark. Now, I haven't seen this, I haven't got that far in Game of Thrones, but obviously I did know this was something that happened because there was a big outrage about it. I'm not sure why, because it's a horrible thing done by a horrible person. This kind of fits Ramsay Bolton's character, I guess, from the kind of character he is supposed to be. Plus, Game of Thrones, look at it, it's a show where a lot of bad shit happens, a lot of horrible things happen, but for some reason, this was one particular scene that people got upset about. I'm not exactly sure why. It is what it is. Maybe it was something to do with, I don't know, the Me Too movement or women's rights. They find this scene hard to watch. Had the genders been reversed and we seen a male getting raped on screen, I don't think anyone would have cared about it, to be honest. But people didn't like the fact this happened to Sansa Stark, and the actor didn't like it either. He says, quote, "It was very, very hard watching. It's a horrible thing that happens, unfortunately, and it shouldn't be. It was the worst day of my career." End of quote. He then goes on to talk about how that scene has affected him, how that scene has prevented him from getting other roles, and that pretty much everybody who reaches out to him wants him to play a bad guy. He says, quote, "There's no other way of looking at it. Because of the magnitude of the show, it did loads for my career, but it brought a lot of barriers as well. All of a sudden, you're just getting offered lots of parts where they want you to do the same thing. I was like, can I play a nice guy, please? It's all right, you know. I'm trying not to bring my work home with me. The thing about Ramsay is that because he's actually happy, it's weirdly easier to play than characters that are introverted and carrying all their darkness inside. That makes it more tiring. You kind of let everything out with Ramsay, but there are scenes that you sort of dread. Obviously, these horrific things he does, but it's okay. I'm quite good at detaching." End of quote. So it's as simple as that. You know, I don't understand it. It's a horrible act. It's a horrible scene. It was a horrible thing committed by a horrible person. I don't understand the outrage, and I know people have been outraged as well in the first season. They say that the Khal Drogo sex scene with Daenerys wasn't consensual. I mean, look at Khal Drogo. Do you think he cared? He wasn't exactly some romantic, charming guy. Do you think Khal Drogo cared? No. I mean, it fit his character, but for some reason, there's certain scenes, especially in Game of Thrones, where people just like to be really offended by. Sophie Turner also did an interview with Times Magazine talking about the scene. She said it was the hardest scene that she ever filmed and that she couldn't sleep the night before the filming of the scene. She says, quote, "To have to do a really intense scene like the rape scene last season, we couldn't really sleep beforehand. Iwan and I, during the day, it was a bit awkward, but afterwards you just go to your safe heaven, which is the hotel bar, and you sort yourselves out." End of quote. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, it's pretend. It's a bad scene. It's acting. I don't understand the outrage over this. Now, people have criticised House of the Dragon because apparently they do a lot better with the sex scenes and making it consensual. But, I mean, to me, this is like selective outrage. I don't know why people are getting so upset over this. I mean, I remember watching Sons of Anarchy and you see Juice getting... He's taking it in the ass in prison, and that doesn't exactly get me... You know, I feel bad for the guy, but I'm not going to go and ask for Sons of Anarchy to be cancelled. I'm not going to say that Kurt Sutter should be cancelled for including that scene. It's a shit thing that's happening, but it is what it is. You know, he got sent to prison. That happens in prison. It sucks for him. And what happened with Sansa sucks for her, and she got, I guess, married to a horrible guy, and this is the kind of things that he liked to do. I mean, he tortured people. I mean, he castrated Theon, yet nobody blinks an eye. That never gets mentioned about. Like, why the selective outrage? Why are people not equally annoyed about other things that Ramsay's done? I mean, this is a show where people get tortured, beheaded, get all sorts of, like, sick shit done to them. We've seen in other TV shows, some people get gruesome deaths, yet It always seems to be whenever a male is, doing something to a female, especially rape, that's when people, seem to get outraged and extremely offended. At the end of the day, it's not real. It's not real life. It's a fictional TV show. So I don't understand why this scene gets so much crap. Apparently, though, it has been, I believe it's edited out, I think, of certain, I don't know, the DVD version or something like that, or the television version. So I don't know. Anyway, guys, if you have seen it, let me know what you think. Was it not necessary? Apparently, it didn't happen in the books, and that's why it's another reason why people are upset. But sometimes you change, sometimes you differ from the books. It's not a crime. If you want to do something that didn't happen in the books, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or whatever. Sometimes changing things up and going in a different direction from the books can actually make a show better. But here, as what it is. Let me know if you agree. Was this scene too much? Was it bad? And did it do nothing for the show? Did it do nothing for any of the characters? Let me know what you think down below. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Till then, peace.